pandemic, holiday restrictions, everyday life, the pressure and stress is very real, but some people are being constantly reminded to put on a happy face, have a positive outlook, and that's not always helpful. Here with me now, Dr. Jamie Zuckerman, a licensed clinical psychologist. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Jamie, I came across you on Instagram because everybody was reposting you, and I started watching your stories, and we started talking about this. Kind of explain to our viewers, what is toxic positivity?
Sure. So toxic positivity is this assumption that our society has in general, but that we put on ourselves and others put on us, that regardless of the severity or the pain of a situation, that we should always look on the bright side, or that things could always be worse. And so what that does is it really kind of trivializes and minimizes our very real and appropriate pain.
Can you give me an example if I'm having a conversation with a girlfriend or my mom? Can you give me an example of what that looks like?
Sure. So let's say you're going through a breakup and you're devastated, appropriately so, and your mom or your friend says to you, "There's more fish in the sea. You'll be fine." So while, yes, you know there's more fish in the sea and you know eventually you'll be fine because you're a strong person, at that moment your feelings are real and they're appropriate to context, and it makes you almost feel shame and guilt for feeling that, because there's this indicator that you're weak in some respect.
I see some other examples on there that you've given us on this list, like it could be worse, at least you have your health, it's not that big of a deal. And then the last one, I'm sure, is in reference to people feeling bad about their body image. Maybe, why don't you try exercising?
Yes.
I think people don't know that they're doing this, though, do they?
They don't, and I'd say most people don't. And the reason why they don't is because as human beings, we're so inclined to always want to feel good. So when we put these statements onto other people, it's really out of our own discomfort. We don't like seeing somebody upset. We want to be solution focused, fix the problem, and here's how we do it. We don't consider the fact that part of that process is actually sitting and processing negative emotions that are normal and healthy.
Why is it so unhealthy for a person to expect us to be so overly optimistic all the time? What's the impact of that?
Sure. So first, what happens is it minimizes the feelings that you are having. You feel bad and guilty for feeling bad. So let's say, for example, that, worst case, somebody loses a child and somebody says, "At least you have, one healthy child at home." I mean, I've heard that, and that is devastating. And then that person ends up feeling guilty for feeling the way that they do. And it becomes very unhealthy because it ends up making it pretty unlikely that that person's going to seek out help during a time when they really need it, because they feel weak or they feel selfish for feeling what they feel. And it ends up kind of spiraling into this larger depression and this larger anxiety, because the more you avoid processing negative emotions, the louder and the larger they become.
And I'm sure you would always say you have to sit in your feelings. I've heard that. I'm a person that goes to therapy a lot.
Yes.
And it's a good thing to do that, but maybe you just have to be careful of who you call and share those feelings with.
Yes. Yes. So there's people in your life that you probably know will give you toxic positivity feedback. And then you have those people in your life where they don't have to say anything. They'll just say, "Tell me what you need me to do. I'll be here. If you want to talk to me, I'll listen." And sometimes the best thing to do to counter toxic positivity is just to listen and don't offer any feedback yet, because there's nothing to solve yet. The first step is just processing the emotions.
You're so right about that we want to fix problems and fix people, and we don't want them to feel bad. So sometimes I myself, Jamie, have to tell my mom, "I'm not calling for advice. I just want you to listen."
Yes. Yes, and it's important that you know to do that, that there's that distinction. A lot of people don't even realize, and I saw this during the pandemic, a lot of people don't even realize that there's another option to toxic positivity.
Gotcha. Well, keep the great work up, because I love your Instagram page, and I love watching and getting good juju, so I'll know how to treat other people and treat myself. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.